Hello everyone! In this video clip, Chad Easker describes his preparation for the Epic 5 Challenge. The Epic 5 Challenge takes place in Hawaii, and participants complete a full Ironman every day for 5 days. So that is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and 26.2 mile run every day for 5 days, for a total of 703 grueling miles. This is not your run-of-the-mill training for a marathon or an ultra-marathon or even a triathlon. Chad would wake up at 2 in the morning to train while his body was sleep deprived. He would then go to work and train later that night. He talks about his rigorous schedule and how he changed his diet during this time. Also, be sure to check out my full video conversation with Chad. I will have that linked below, as well as links to the Conversationalist podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. So here is Chad Easker describing his preparation for the Epic 5 Challenge.
When I finished Ultraman last year in Florida, their race crew we had like a celebration breakfast after the race was done, and they started telling me about this Epic 5 and that how there was, at that time I think there was 10 people that had finished it, and they just said, you know, this is what it consists of. It's 5 iron distance races, 5 days in a row, 5 different Hawaiian islands. And Nick, Redfish, and I were just like, that's crazy. I mean, that's just unheard of, because most of the time after an Ironman, you can barely walk. I mean, after an Ironman race, people are struggling. I mean, it's a rough event, but for some reason, like, my body responds really well, and I don't have like a lot of soreness and stuff like that after doing that stuff. So I signed up for it. I sent in a resume. They called me like a day or two later and said, "Can we schedule an interview?" Which I was surprised, you know, that they even saw what I had done, and went through the interview process with them, and they reviewed it with the board, and they said, "Hey, it would be, you know, we'd like to have you." I mean, I was just completely blown away. So right then and there, Nick started making up a training plan for me, and we started out maybe 10 hours a week, and by the time we hit the first part of May, I was up to about 34 hours of training a week. So it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a real lot. So I mean, I was waking up, some mornings we were waking up at 2 a.m. to be to the Y at 3. We would do a 2-hour run just for sleep deprivation, get used to running while we're super tired. Then we'd go swim. I'd come home and work all day, and then we would do a 5-hour bike ride in the evening on bike trainers here at the house.
Oh my gosh.
But always had a crew of people.
Yeah.
Made it great, made it easy, easier, I should say, and yeah, it was a great experience.
What was your diet like in that time? How did you
Oh my gosh,
that?
it was crazy. I definitely switched to like a more fatty type diet.
Okay.
Like we ate tons of fish. I was feeding a lot of people here at night. I mean, we would have salmon, we would have cod, we wouldn't rule out pizza. We had a lot of pizzas.
Yeah.
We had a lot of, and literally when I think about it, the amount of calories I was burning, I had to, at times, just like double even what I felt like eating.
Was there ever a moment where you woke up at 2 a.m. or even just after a long day of work and you're on that 5-hour workout at that night, you just thought, what am I doing to myself? Is this worth it?
More mentally than physically, I think. It just got to the point where, I mean, I was trying to keep up a household and trying to work, you know, full time, and trying to just, you know, trying to do everything, and so there's a lot of things that just had to slide. I mean, my house was not the cleanest, my vehicles kind of didn't get maintained like they usually do, and so there's some things that just had to slide, and there was a few times where I was just tired, I was just beat, and you know, some of those long training weeks, and then I would have a rest week where we cut it down to about 10-12 hours a week instead of in the 20s and 30s, and I could recover pretty good. So I just learned to deal with it that way. I had so many other people that were by my side, I wasn't going to leave them, you know, I wasn't going to say I'm going to be there and then not be there. So, and you know, everybody put so much time and effort into this, and so I had my part to do.
Yeah.